try to do some like analysis of the family dynamic, which potentially could lead to some answers as to why my sister treats me so friggin' unfairly and unjustly. Okay, see, if my father married my mother, and the marriage didn't work out, and I think my grandmother, after the situation, decided that my father had gotten her involved with drugs, which I don't know whether or not that's true. There could be some truth in that, because I know he was dealing like in opiates, I guess. But I'm sure she was already partying before they tied the knot. So, but anyway, so she did not like my father, and as my mother's life kept getting worse and worse, she just started hating him more and more and more. But the thing is, though, he wasn't around. She couldn't take it out on him. But I was right there. I was in her house. She was taking it out on me, and she would always, whenever she about to have some kind of fit or something like that, she'd always like start off by saying like, "You're just like your father, the oaf," and then she used to like beat me with a length of like rubber hose. I mean that shit hurts, leaves a mark on you. I used to always have like these black and blue marks all over my legs and arms and stuff like that. Because she used to beat the living tar out of me with that. My sister never got beat like that. As a matter of fact, whenever we got in trouble, I always got in trouble for my sister's share of the mischief too, because it's like, I'm the older brother, I'm supposed to be looking out for her. So I would get in trouble for what I did as well as what she did. And so, as you can imagine, my grandmother was not acting like a rational adult. I mean, of course, no adult's going to act rational all the time, but I mean, her treatment of me was downright psychotic. I mean, we'd have good days, sometimes, but usually whenever she'd be like in a bad mood, which is very frequently because my mother was always creating problems because of her drug addiction, she would always take it out on me. And of course this created a certain amount of animosity between me and her, because you're not being dealt with fairly. I mean, I knew I was being overpunished for stuff, and I knew she was taking out her anger towards my father on me, and so I would talk back to her from time to time and stuff like that, which I guess is kind of disrespectful, but she wasn't really behaving in a level-headed fashion, taking out stuff on a elementary school kid that way. Of course, yeah, and then on top of that, also, it's like my grandparents favored girls over boys, and I think part of that might be because my grandmother, she was the only girl, and she had like 6 brothers in her family, so I know there's something, girl children were more precious, which also might have contributed to the fact my mother was more spoiled and probably paved the way towards her drug addiction a lot more than my fucking, morphine dealing dad. Of course, people don't like taking responsibility for their own mistakes, especially psychotic people. So it's really a drag. My grandmother's irrational, spiteful behavior is, in a way, you could say, still creating problems for me to this very day. It creates a big schism in the family. I mean, while my grandfather was alive, he sort of kept all his, grandkids on good terms, but, once he died, it just turned into like a zoo. People started being mean to each other and stuff. I mean, well, being mean to me mostly. For some reason, I'm on the outs, and I'm the oldest one of all of them, and I've had my problems over the years, but I have never been arrested. I don't have any criminal record, and I did have my own problems in my personal life, but I never brought that to my family. I never bothered my grandparents with it. I mean, after Dana did all her stuff and fixed things, so I was living out of my car. He did help me out a little bit from time to time. But nothing major though. I mean, I kept things together for the most part on my own. So this is really messed up. So anyway, my sister's not talking to me, and it's like I was trying to find my brother's information on Facebook, but she had her friends list private, so I told some mutual friend of ours to go check her Facebook friends list for this one person, my brother, and I guess he maybe didn't feel like doing it. I'm assuming this. I don't know for a fact. He asked her if he was on there or something like that, because all I know is after I asked him to check her friends list, all of a sudden she blocked me. I mean, she was ignoring my friend requests and stuff like that before that, but then all of a sudden she's totally blocked me, and I was only able to access her account through it, because I have a few different accounts through a different account. So yeah, it's really a messed up situation. Anyway, yeah, I'm getting kind of stuck in the rut here. I'm starting to talk around in circles. So I'll catch you guys later.